Everyone, the Phoenix Suns really lost to the Australian 36ers. And now look, it's a preseason game, so you can't take too much away from it. You can't put too much into it. But this is a game where they were essentially trailing from start to finish. They ended up losing by 10 points, and they just looked terrible. And as much as this is something that it's a preseason game, this is a game that is like a warm-up game. This is a gimme game. This is a game where you're supposed to go in, kind of work on your flaws, get the W, walk out of there. Whether you win by 1 or you win by 10 or whatever it is, it's one of those things. And the biggest reason that this is of concern is because of just the off season that the Phoenix Suns have had. And it goes into something that I've talked about on this channel, where I really think the Phoenix Suns are going to take a drastic step back. Now, I don't think they're going to be a play-in team or, miss the playoffs or anything like that. But the circus of the offseason really does play and wear on players, right? The whole sovereign thing. You have this team that is just in disarray. Jay Crowder wants out. He's being traded. He's not showing up to training camp. DeAndre Ayton doesn't want to be there. He's pretty much all but said that himself. I mean, even asking about his contract extension and stuff like that, he's just kind of like, yeah, I'm here kind of thing. And it's just Chris Paul's only getting older. You got to pay Johnson, Bridges. You do have Devin Booker, which is great, but they're coming off of a terrible loss, which was the beginning of the implosion. DeAndre Ayton refused to go into the game. There was whatever was going on behind the scenes with him. We don't have all the details, but supposedly he just refused to go in and was just having locker room issues. Jay Crowder had some issues that were reported on. And it's just, this is not how you want to start preseason with all of just the chaos and commotion that's going on. Like if this was just a normal offseason, they were coming off of a good year and they took a loss. Okay, fine. It happens. This team, they wanted to show up, they wanted to show out, stuff like that. But it's just, you add all the turmoil and then you look at this team as a whole and you just look at everything that's going on. And it's just, it's at least cause for concern. Again, I don't want to put too much into it to where it's like, oh, that's it. The wheels are falling off. This team is, it's time to start trading everybody. It's time to blow it up. Like, I'm not saying to that degree, but don't be shocked if the Phoenix Suns really struggle to get some wins this year. Because you have a lot of guys that don't really want to be there, don't really want to win for this organization, that, are kind of not fully bought in. There's a lot of, commitment issues and questions about guys on this team. And it's just, you could see this team is potentially one bad day away from just falling apart. And this is something that's going to be highlighted. This is something that's going to be talked about. This is something that's going to be discussed. That's going to add to just the drama and the turmoil and just all of the stuff going on with the Phoenix Suns. And they're going to be under a microscope and a spotlight this upcoming season, just with everything that's going on. They got to trade Jay Crowder. They still haven't moved him yet. And it's like, what do you do if you can't? Teams know that they want to unload him, that they can't bring him on. He's not in training camp, so they're not going to get the value that they want from him. If you can't trade him, what? Are you going to bring him back? With all the locker room issues, all the drama, stuff like that. You hear DeAndre Ayton hasn't even talked to his coach. Monty Williams is trying to play it off like it's not a big deal when, that is. Your star young player you haven't talked to yet at all. He doesn't want to be there. There's no communication. There's no nothing. And he's like, I haven't talked to any of these guys. These guys deserve to break. I just don't buy it. I don't buy it. It sounds like the PC answer that you're trying to say to kind of salvage what's going on, stuff like that. DeAndre Ayton, every opportunity is basically just kind of throwing the Suns under the bus. And it's just this absolute mess. And it's just, this is a signal to what could be a disaster this season. I'm not saying it will fully go that route, but you start seeing a couple games like this, it's pretty rough. It is preseason, but again, they're playing a gimme team. You're playing a team that you're supposed to go in and essentially dominate if you're really playing, but it's preseason, so you're not giving 100%. You're not trying to kill yourself, anything like that. And even if they lost, it would be one thing if they lost, but it's just how they lost, how badly they lost, start to finish. They were down, 12 points the entire game. Then they go on a little run, cut it to 6, go into the fourth quarter, and then the game was over. And it's just this game had one tie and one lead change the entire game because the Phoenix Suns were playing catch up the entire game. And it's just like they didn't look good. I mean, if you go watch highlights and stuff, they just didn't look good. Like, if you saw the game, you saw they didn't look good. They looked like a bunch of people that didn't really want to be there, that just were just playing just to play, to earn their paycheck. And that's my concern going into this upcoming season, that they're going to be guys that go into this season just to earn their paycheck. I'm here so I don't get fined, so to speak, the Marshawn Lynch thing. And that's just, it's not good. And Monty has he's got a real dilemma on his hands. He's got a real issue going on with this team. And this looked like a team, it's amazing how quickly the mighty can fall. You had a team that was in the NBA Finals that had aspirations to get back with the number 1 seed last year, looked like they were just going to be right back again, or at least pretty close. Then they just get completely just demolished, back of the barn, woodshed type beatdown at home in a Game 7. And then it's just been all downhill from there. It's like that was the first sign of just like, all right, this train's going off the track, so to speak. And it's just, you have an owner that's still a part of the team, that the kind of person he is. And do you really want to put W's in the win column for that guy? Probably not. Hopefully the sell goes through. Hopefully it happens swiftly and fast and stuff like that. Maybe Phoenix will have that fire lit under them again and they'll want to compete and stuff. But, it's a lot of the same things we saw with the Clippers and the whole Donald Sterling thing. You had a bunch of guys that they were like, why are we playing for this guy? And once he was gone, then all of a sudden they started getting things back on track, and you saw that. But it's just that, and then you have your star young player, doesn't want to be there. How much is he going to be invested? How much is he going to be trying to kill himself? He's probably looking for every opportunity to just go and get traded to another team. He wanted to go to Indiana. Thought that was where he was going, and then the Suns match, and it's just, you have that Chris Paul, as great as he is, he's only getting older, injury prone, a lot of questions with him, and it's just, you could see the wheel of this car starting to wobble, and it's like, how long before that wheel just completely falls off and caves, and that's it. It's just, it's not good. It's a tough position for this Phoenix Suns team to be in, and I don't have a lot of hope for them this season. I think their window is closed as far as a title and potentially winning an NBA championship. I think that's it. That's done. I thought that as soon as they lost the finals that year, I thought that was their one shot. But, they looked good last year, and they still essentially have the same team. So maybe they could turn it around. Maybe it won't be as bad as I think it will be. I just, sometimes things are what they seem, and it seems like the Phoenix Suns are in a really bad spot right now. Doesn't mean things can't turn around, doesn't mean things can change. Again, I don't want to say that, oh, this is it, blow up the team, let's be done with it. Like, they can't even beat this team, so they're not going to beat anybody. They're going to, like I said, I still think they make the playoffs. I still think they're going to be one of the better teams in the league, just because they have too much talent on their team, period. But I think them being the 1 seed, I wouldn't be surprised if they're like the 4 or 5 seed this season, maybe even the 6 seed. I think that they're gonna struggle this year. I think the motivation isn't there the way that it would be in any other season. It's a bad spot to be in. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. What do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think that this is a disaster? Do you think this is no, like it's just preseason? Don't look too much into it. It's not a big deal. They'll bounce back. All will be right in the world again. However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, good, bad, ugly, in between. I'd love to hear them. Let me know. Let me know what you think. I think the writing's on the wall for this team. I think this team is in a rough spot. Problem is you're kind of stuck with this team for the long haul. Devin Booker, he's not going anywhere anytime soon. Neither is Chris Paul. It's gonna be tough for you to trade Chris Paul if you were to try to trade him. Bridges definitely has some value. Ayton, I could see Ayton getting moved at some point, maybe this season or next. And then Jay Crowder, I think they'll either buy him out or be gone. Because, again, if you can't trade Jay Crowder, if no teams end up trading for him, what do? You bring him back? I don't think you do. I think you got to just swallow it and buy him out and move on. Let him go elsewhere. You don't want that locker room headache on this team. But anyway, let me know down in the comments. Quick little shameless plug. Go subscribe to my second channel. Link down in the description below. As it stands, Lakers. I am a diehard Laker fan. I love talking Lakers. I could talk Lakers all day, just like I could talk about all sports all day. And I'm sure many of you watching to this point enjoy my commentary, enjoy these discussions. So go check out the Lakers channel. Even if you're not a Laker fan and you just like hearing me talk about stuff in basketball, go over there and subscribe. I'll link down in the description below. I promise you won't be disappointed. That being said, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, followed by the bell notification. Stay up to date with all things sports. Join this wonderful community and all of our discussions. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.